First training log. So this is a new grease pencil document, and I've got to make sure that this is set to display color properly. Yes, no color attribute. Is that all I need to do? Yes, okay, there we go. Not material, color attribute. Okay. I'll give it a little bit of color. Never mind, I'm gonna go black. Alright, so I'm gonna be studying Buster Keaton, 7 Chances. There's a chase sequence at the end of it. Which is quite the roller coaster ride and very surreal. I've never seen anything like it before. Just want to get this key pose down real quick. I like it. It's good to really study little stock poses like that, just little poses like this, because they come in handy so often. You just need someone to be trotting out into the road or whatever, and you don't know how to do it oftentimes. You can't be going looking for reference, so that is not what I would want it to look like. Let me see what's wrong with it. Let's get some more overlap in. That's looking a little better. Getting the sense of the arm coming backwards. This arm coming up like that. And then a little bit of his coat flaring out. Give a sense of the motion. And then his head is too big and also not angled correctly, I think. So I'm looking, the bus is going to be coming along, so put the ear in to show which direction he's looking as he's looking back. Anyways, let's start. Alright. Actually, just for fun, let me, oh yeah, this is grease pencil. I'm going to be doing all of my studies in this, but I'm not yet used to how it works getting opacity into this. Marker, that should work. How does that, do these layer? Yeah, they layer. Alright, this is great. Among many things which I like about grease pencil, one very handy thing is simply that it well as everything else it is, it's also a infinite canvas application, so you can just draw and draw and draw. Actually, I was just doing the key pose here, but let me draw the rest of the scene just in broad outline so that I get a sense of actual perspective grid here in a little bit way. But anyways, let's do the whole scene so that I can see the general proportion and shape of things. Sort of, this is important establishing shot. Everything's peaceful still for a moment. All right. At the crossroads, I suppose. He's about to start heading back. He's got to find his girl and marry her before 7 o'clock, or he doesn't inherit his fortune. That's what the movie is about. And but before this, in desperation, he came up with a plan. Before he realized that the girl he actually loves would marry him, he came up with a plan to try to get anybody to marry him, and advertised in the paper that he's going to inherit 7 million. And let's get a frame in here. And the church showed up. At the church showed up about 200 brides, all with veils, all in white. And now, having decided that it was all a practical joke, they are after him. Anyways, that's the first shot. Let me just try moving this around. Wait, stop. Oh, I have the wrong tool. Lasso. There we go. All right. Not that I need to move it right now. Actually, I would want to for some reason. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. Hailing the bus. Passes him by. Now you see when he turns back and forth like that, that's just great for storyboard training. Let me do this frame by frame. Oh wow, look at those steps. Those are great poses. Let me see. So arms on hips, looking one way dramatically while his arm turns the other way so you can see the rotation. His arm, like he makes his arm have follow through. You don't have to turn like that, but he uses his arm to create follow through. He's animating himself, which is what's incredible about Buster Keaton, is he moves like a 3D animated character, except for he's a mere mortal of flesh and blood, and some of the stunts he does. But anyways, all right, those are. I don't think I'm gonna draw any of those, but I like the walk though. That's so dramatic, so exaggerated. Just great little drawing there. And I'm not going to redraw the scene, so I already did that, more or less. Worked out the basic perspective. So, oops, what did I just do? Oopsies. All right. Zoom in a bit, and let's just... he's looking this way, so I'll put his ear in right away. Give the sense of direction. Shoulders. And then he's got all of his back going into, pushing, he's moving this way. Arm is down. Fists are clenched. Frustration. So he's looking for your way to get home. Again, that leg extended way out there. feel like the pose could be a little bit more pushed, but it'll do. That I think gives a little more direction. What if I put his other arm out like that, just to see? Nah, it doesn't look any good. Just to exaggerate that motion. I think this could be exaggerated more. I'm going to try again. Yeah, he sort of got that, like, with his arms slightly bent. Almost sort of cartoony, angry walk. Where he's, if I make his arms sort of go up more like that, it looks a little bit more. Nah. It's gonna go straight. That's a little clearer. Okay. So there's the brides coming after him. Oopsies. So basically, this sequence comes with them going in at a right angle to him. Then they see him. Now they're going in a straight line with him. And the camera keeps pulling back, seeing more and more, raising up, seeing more and more, all flowing in. He doesn't notice. All right. More coming from the sides. All right. Let me see. So I'm going to do a few drawings of that just to try to get the general action. So at first we're down lower. He's walking along, swinging his arms, and then all of the brides are going to come in this direction behind him. Here we go. Okay, so I'll use this pose, I think. Got his hand up, walking in a, I think, a fairly exaggerated manner. I haven't really noticed people in real life walking this very, very often. Really swinging his arms and legs. Again, he moves like an animated character. And is thus very good training for storyboard art or any kind of visual storytelling where you're expected to tell the story through images and rely on those images. All right. Okie dokie. That now, okay, so then the brides are all coming in this way. How to depict a horde. This is going to be like crowd simulation in a 3D movie, except I've got to figure out in my head how I'm going to indicate, oopsies, hordes of people. Let me shrink this down a bit so I can get it more the same. Actually, I'm going to go down this way. So let's zoom in now, tab, draw mode, and start. So they're way smaller than him, they're way in the back. Let me start by just putting in a few heads to sprinkle things around. Then let's start giving a sense of direction. The dresses and things. Really, I guess the trick would be just throw in an arm or leg here and there, if you can't to scale. That can be tricky. And just indicate bits and bobs, faces, arms, legs. Doesn't have to all belong to the same person, maybe. We'll see. That may not work as well as I might have hoped. Anyways, might work. That indicates something. I don't know if it's clear enough, but I'm going to leave it for now. And I do need to scale that back. A lot. All right. And let's give him some perspective. Using all these trolley tracks. These are way back there. Just gonna indicate boxes, like the circles on them and circles on the side for a bunch of cars. I could clean that up more later. And a car over here. All right. All right. This just keeps growing on me. But that's fine. I think that gets across the sense of perspective well enough. And let me just... I'll get a bit more space here. Just giving it a nice black border so I can see. Oops. Oops. That's silliness. I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit, but all right. That's fine. So we got our first shot. I'm waiting for the trolley. The trolley passes by, marches off, comes down this way, comes around the bend. The brides are following. Oops. There we go. Another one in the background there. All right. Shadows. Let me add a little bit of tone to this. This marker works just fine for adding tone and stuff. All right. Actually, pull this a little darker again. I don't know how much that helps things read or not, but oh, of course, he needs tone on him. That's what I was missing in terms of the composition. All right. Oh yes, and tone down here at their feet. I think that pretty well expresses the basic concept of this story here, this moment here. That reads, look at that key pose. Just as they notice him and are looking at him, he makes this very exaggerated expression of, I'm looking forward, I'm not looking back. They'll notice him, he's busy looking forward. Let me see. Let me grab that one. Alright, so leaning forward, hips going back. You show that with overlapping form a bit. Leg coming forward, going back, foreshortening a lot. The other one coming forward, placed on the ground in front of him. This arm is sort of, the arm is, I guess this one's straight and starting to go backwards. Let me. I want to get the actual expression of him looking, if I can. I have mouth open a little bit. Well, I definitely made him lean over quite a bit too far. So I'm gonna have to think about how to perhaps dial it back a little bit. Well, actually, bringing that leg back helps a lot. Because basically my pose is more exaggerated, and to make it make sense, I need to adjust the balance on his legs. So as he leans further this way with his head, this leg needs to be pulled back further. If he were to lean even further, this leg would need to go even further this way. Actually, let me just try that out, make sure what I'm saying is true and I'm not just spouting nonsense. So suppose he's leaning way, way over, like really looking. He's got this leg coming forward more or less as he's walking. But wait a second, I just drew that leaning back instead of forward. Gotta get that ellipse going. So he's really leaning over there. Really got his arms out over here. Trying to see what is going on. Looking around a corner or something. But now if you do all of that, if you have the other leg out like this, well, it's not walking, certainly, whatever he's doing. He's pivoting on one leg in a really weird manner. But if you want it to look anything like a walk, you got to move this leg way over here. And now you've got a kind of a weird, very exaggerated walk. All right. Now let me change the color of this to red. I want to change the color of this to red. Oh, there we go. Oh, so I was on a different brush? That can't change color. What brush was that? That would be nice to know. Marker? No, everything can change color. What brush was I on? Oh. Eraser stroke. Well, anyways. Alright, let's make this red. So, anyways, as you can see in this image, his head is over here, and his leg comes down like this. In this image, you have to take it a lot further, and the head comes up over here, and the leg pushes back much further, so a much more exaggerated curve. And here it's even more. Now you got this. But to keep the balance and to keep a sense of a walk, a sense of the proper, I guess, hip and leg motion, you really need to keep that dynamic between the head and that foot working properly. Otherwise it just starts to look like he's doing a star pose or something instead of walking. All right, I think that's enough for a first video. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.